Martin Liedtke is a flat earther who likes to give long-winded presentations on all manner of things. Now, we've looked at him before when he thought that the entirety of Egyptian history came from the US. And a long time ago when he was having a pop at NASA and the Voyager missions. Well, today he has outdone himself as he is claiming that the islands of the world are moving. And not at continental drift speeds either. Overnight. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Okay, on with today's video, which as I said at the start is from a Martin Liedtke. Now he's about to give us the rundown of all the recent movements of different sections of Earth. He seems to think that we've all been Mandela affected and maybe even that we're in a different universe now. Yes, he's one of those too. Let's dive in, shall we?
California. Now, when we drove to California, myself and Cheryl, last month or so, we drove from Houston all the way to San Diego. And we noticed that when we got into California, there was a large desert sort of by here, between Arizona and California. And we said at the time, oh, that's probably where the sea was, the Maid Island, California. Now, I've been trying to find out a separation point here for that landmass we see that is supposed to be California. And I can't get it to correspond, guys. I'm not actually sure if we are looking at California. And I'll show you what I mean. Now,
this is of course the Mojave Desert, and it did used to be part of an ancient interior sea, not ocean, sea. Of course, California has never been an island and probably never will. The North American plate is moving in a westerly direction towards California, and the Pacific plate is sliding up against it.
Something else I want to orientate you with is the location of India. Now, India is across the Arabian Sea from the Big Boot of Arabia. See, it's a prominent, sticks out in Southern Asia. We can't miss it, can we? No.
Nope, that's why we call it a subcontinent.
Now, I'm not sure, again, Mandela effect, whatever, because I'm the type of boy, okay, when I was young, I would sit in my bedroom for hours and hours on end studying atlases, seeing about all the cool places that I will travel later on in my life, which I did, by the way.
Okay, well, that's all fine. I'm sure a lot of us did that when we were young. I certainly did. Hours and hours, though? I think that's a bit of a stretch, isn't it?
So, Japan is further south than I remember. I actually thought, for some reason, that Japan was up by here somewhere, but no. Apparently, it's got two climates, Japan, right? It's got subtropical down here and a bit icy up here in Sapporo and up here.
You see, I don't remember Japan further north. I remember it exactly where it is today. Please don't tell me that your fallible memory is causing you to come up with some daft theory. You wouldn't do that, would you?
This bit, Russia. This bit down here, China. This bit, South Korea. So it's just off the coast of South Korea. See, I don't know, maybe I'm just missing something, but I can't actually remember that being the case, but there you go. It's by there. Japan is by there. And it is a long island about as long as Britain. That's like something like 1,000 miles long. There's loads of different islands. And it is oriented, excuse me, I just wanted to see where the north-south is. It's oriented, this bit facing north, and this bit is a little bit, I'm guessing, a westerly direction, but this bit is definitely facing north.
As it always has. Southwesterly was the direction you were looking for there, matey.
And then you have the massive Pacific Ocean, apart from the Southern Ocean, probably the biggest ocean you can imagine. And in the middle is the Hawaiian Islands. Now, if you are going to have a war, make sure to have it in the middle of the Pacific, like a Medway Island where no one will ever see you. Okay, so dig. Okay, excuse me. Massive Pacific. Japan is over here. California is over here, and you've got the Hawaiian Islands there. Okay, we're moving on.
Wonderful. Excited to see what you have, Martin.
I found this map. But first, just interestingly, Japan has a lot of volcanoes. In fact, Japan has 111 active volcanoes. And I was having a discussion today And it come up with, well, if it is like sort of mortal engines, islands moving, which I'm going to propose and show you along the way, could volcanoes actually be like exhaust ports for the massive engines that work below?
No, they cannot be that. Japan sits on a boundary of around 4 different tectonic plates. There is a hell of a lot of tectonic activity going on in, under and around the Japanese islands. Hell, my wife slept through a magnitude 5 earthquake when she was there for the marathon. Twice! To imply that volcanoes are exhausts for huge machines underneath Japan is simply nonsensical. Also, exhausts are typically gas. Whilst volcanoes do release gas, they release a lot of solid too.
And here is Japan. The most nuked place in the world, apparently. Oh yeah, this place has been really fucked up by nuclear bombs. Then it had Fukushima, apparently a nuclear disaster. The most nuked place in the world. Okay, I was just checking my comms in order. But what you find is this is the Ring of Fire, isn't it, around the Pacific? And it's the most volcanic active place on Earth for some reason. And you get all of this.
Some reason, just some reason. Amazing that he doesn't actually look this stuff up.
Shitloads of volcanoes, and I don't know, maybe it does look like a little vessel, like, you know, the whole structure of the island. Anyway, we're moving on. This map I dug up in the Bodleian library, and interestingly, it's from around 1540, so it's an early map. But what is interesting about this is the Swiss released this map. Which are from Basel in Switzerland, place of origin, which I find unusual because Switzerland is actually landlocked. They haven't got a coastline.
What? So the Swiss are not allowed to make maps that include islands because they're a landlocked country? What sort of archaic thinking is that? Bloody hell.
So let's have a little study of this Swiss map from 1540. Now, note this, I find this interesting. It might be a clue to Tartaria. Is over in Asia by you got a lot of these places beginning with a Q and a U. Okay, but they say India over there, so that's Asia. And this is apparently North America. Now, you've got Canada, okay, not on top of North America like it actually is. You've got Canada, as you can see, Francisco, so French-speaking America, Canada, facing east to west.
Are you surprised? The map is from 1540. This is what we thought the world looked like back then. Yes, it looks sort of similar to how it actually looks now, but there are a lot of things wrong. Don't forget, the only way we could explore Earth back then was in ships and on horseback. It would have been almost impossible to get an accurate representation of what every country looked like back then.
And not north to south at all, and above America. So that is completely wrong. I don't know what's going on. Some people say Cuba have shifted as a Mandela effect, but it looks a lot bigger than I remember. And the orientation as well of Central America. What, you know, what's this big bit sticking out? It's just weird. So yeah, Die New Welt, the New World, and then you got all of that down there. Which I think that this coastline of what they call as Antarctica is another land. And I think that it's where Club Tropicana drinks are free. Fun and sunshine, there's enough for everyone. I think they have thousands of miles of quality coastline while the rest of us slave away in this bit.
You heard it here first, everyone. Antarctica is not a massive icy continent with a harsh environment. It's thousands of miles of hot sandy beaches with bars and restaurants and everything. Dear oh dear.
So under first scrutiny, you look at America here and you're like, oh wow, Island California. But it's not, because it says Zapangri, which is Japan.
So they got the shape and the position a bit wrong. Not bad for 1540, to be fair. Considering that this is a Swiss map after all, hey.
Hold up. Whoa. What is going on? So Japan is not attached to Asia at all. In fact, it's over by America. And you get these islands in the middle, like you do, which I'll show you in a minute, with Island California. There's a series of 4 islands in between Island California and America, just like you get with this. But in this case, this is Japan. This is an archipelago here of 7,448 here in the Pacific Ocean. Now, Dick, how is it possible for there only to be on this map this little bit of Pacific between America and Japan?
Because it was the year 1540. The first recorded crossing of the Pacific Ocean was by the Portuguese only 20 years before that.
And all of the expanse of the Pacific is actually behind Japan. So what do we make of that? Is it just craziness and stupid cartography? Or is this a reset map from before the reset or after the reset even?
I think we can say it's neither. It's simply the best attempt at the time, given the information they had. Now Martin moves on to his next map.
Bear that in mind for the next map. This one, which is the thumbnail for this video. It is a lovely little map from 1595, so not far off that other map, but as you can see, this is superior cartography compared to the other maps. Why would they get it so wrong?
Because this was 50 years later, and by then the Spanish had trade routes across the Pacific.
Why is Japan facing east to west when it actually should face north to south?
That's wrong too. It faces northeast to southwest. This is close, but obviously not correct. Still a good attempt for 1590 and obviously better than the 1540 attempt. Martin seems to think that the map makers of the 1500s should have known exactly where everything went and exactly what shape everything is without the use of planes or satellites. It's harsh, Martin. A bit harsh. Well, there we go. Another Tinfoil Tuesday all done and dusted. What do you all think of Martin's maps there? Is he onto something or is he totally off the mark? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thanks so much for watching today. It truly is appreciated. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. We are on the march to the 600,000 subscriber mark now, and I do have something special in mind once we hit that. And if you really enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button too. It'd be hugely appreciated. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great couple of days, and I'll see you on Friday for the return of Anthony Bear and another one of his experiments. See you then.